Hello, 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 everyone. I just want to make sure everything is working. Am I going live? Yes, I am. Go live. Good, it's working. Okay, happy Friday. I know I'm a couple minutes early. I'm just setting things up. About to start a master class. Okay, make sure I'm not. Make sure the tech is all working. Okay. Friday. What's the plan for the weekend? Okay, all set. In 2 minutes. Sorry, can you hear me? Leave studio. Okay, I'm gonna leave studio. Let me make sure that the YouTube is also working. My video live. Yes. How can I leave studio? Why it's not working? Hmm. Okay. I want to make sure. So if I close this, I just want to double check. Okay. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Let me just double check. It's almost noon. Oh, sorry. Double check. Make sure. I don't want any more technical issues. I had that last week. That was no fun. Okay, happy Friday, everyone. We are starting the master class now. I think it's working. Yes, it's working. Okay, wonderful. Happy Friday. Welcome to the master class of Buried Under Your To-Do List. How to lead with confidence, not busyness. First and foremost, wanted to thank you for showing up. I know you are already very busy. That's why you wanted to learn more about how not to, but then you chose to come here. to this class to learn about how to change it. And that already says a lot about you. Says that you are curious, you have this incredible growth mindset, and then you are taking things into your own hands and say, you know what? Enough is enough, and I want to do something differently about it. And that's what I love about you. So, if you're someone who's always emotion, always productive, and always someone who's counting on, reliable, everyone's depend on you at work, at home, and you are just the one is kind of holding it up and doing it for everyone. You are everywhere, you are there all the time. And you are unable to rest because you're thinking, I can't rest. I feel like I need to work more. If I don't do it, no one will, and things will fall apart. And you probably are feeling tired and you want to slow down. Your body is telling you to slow down, but you don't know how. What I want to tell you is that first and foremost, you are not alone. Many women, high achieving women especially, feel the same way. And you are in the right place. And you made the decision to show up today. And today, what you are going to learn can be a turning point of your life. And you may have tried, you may have tried different things before. And you know, right? You know, oh, you know what? I do need to get rest. Let me you, these days we meditation. Everybody's talking about meditation, and you may have tried to meditate. And it's like, I need to do meditation. Okay, I need to do yoga class, and I need to go out for a walk, and really turning the rest to into another to do on your to do list. The key is that when you're doing those things, that you may be physically present, you're doing that thing, but you're still mentally busy. You're still worried about all the other things you need to do, who the crisis you may need to handle afterwards, and right, like other people you need to take care of. So while you're doing that so-called resting thing, and you're not rested. So that's really not true rest. And the other thing is not rest. A lot of people misunderstand as rest is mindfully scrolling or passively overloading, overloading passive information and scrolling on your social media and just binge watch Netflix. You see it as a downtime, but it's actually not, because your nervous system is still being stimulated. I'll talk more about today. I'm going to introduce this incredible concept, incredible scientific knowledge about nervous system. And this nervous system really was a game changer for me in my healing and growth journey. And it can be yours too. It's that passive information, overloading is not rest, because it's really not giving your nervous system what it needs. And the other thing also not rest is crushing. Don't you feel you have a one, crazy busy chaotic week, and on the weekend you just crush, right? Because you don't have energy to do anything anymore. And that's not true resting either. That's literally your system, nervous system, just completely collapse and shut down. I'll talk more about that too. So today I'm going to give you an incredible, incredible tool This tool is based on our biology. It's the most fundamental part of our being, our nervous system. How to rewire your nervous system and really get to the core of the issue, really addressing the foundational challenge that you have. And I'm teaching this. Every class I teach, I'm very, very passionate about it. It's because it's coming from my own lived experience. Because all these tools, the knowledge, and the skills changed, really have changed my life for the best way possible. And I'm really teaching from my lived experience. I used to be someone 4 years ago, less than 4 years ago. I was someone pretty much like probably where you are right now, 100 miles an hour, just everywhere. At work, it's like just fast. Everything's fast and doing so much. And pre-COVID, my day pretty much packed. I leave home at 8 a.m. and I don't come home until a lot of time until 9, 10 p.m. After work, then just the activities, one thing after another, just not even a minute of rest in between. And couldn't I couldn't sit for 5 minutes. For years, I wanted to learn meditation on my own. I paid like $150 for a meditation app, and I tried to do it on my own. Just felt like I was sitting on pins and needles. Couldn't do it. And what changed my life really was during 4 years ago, right, during pandemic, and was there was no other things I could do. The only thing I could do at that time was the daily walk in my neighborhood. And also I live very close to the ocean, so I sometimes I walk on the beach as well. Those daily walks and really truly changed my life. And that was a turning point of my life. That slowed down and really helped me to regulate my nervous system. And then that's when I started to realize, oh, this way of living, it's not working for me anymore. I'm not happy. And I don't want to continue. I want to do something different. Without that forced slow down during COVID, I probably would still be living in that kind of chaotic, fast-paced, so-called productive life. But in many ways, I felt exhausted inside. And now I meditate 30 minutes every day, 15 minutes at more in the morning, 15 minutes at night. And I love doing it. Sometimes I wish I had more time. I just love the stillness and solitude because it really allows me to connect with myself, and I'm just so much more in tune with my own intuition and trust myself more and listen to my inner voice. And another, change has, the big change for me was, 2 years ago, I quit corporate America, become an entrepreneur. And then I thought, oh, after I leave corporate America, oh, my life, I get to control the way I live my life, and I shouldn't have that much of stress. But it turned out to be not the case at all because I really didn't fundamentally change the way how my nervous system worked, and I pushed myself, worked really hard. I didn't want to rest until I hit a certain goal. So I was working 7 days a week and just completely exhausted. And this year, I made a drastic change. I realized, I actually need to have structured time every week to play, to have fun, just to relax. And I realized the fun, play, and relaxation is essential. I love dancing, so I go out dancing at least once or twice a week. And I go to the beach, really walk long walks on the beach once or twice a week minimum. And I take fun classes. And now I'm taking an improv class every week. That 3 hours was just playing. And that made a huge difference for me Because you know what I realized? Actually, I'm way more productive because when I come back, I feel refreshed, energized, and way more effective in what I do. I can do more, accomplish more in shorter period of time. And also I'm so much more creative. 20 years in corporate, I never thought I was a creative person. I always had trouble when it comes to brainstorming. We would go to do like brainstorming sessions. I just couldn't come up with really great ideas. And now, because I'm so much more relaxed and just so much more, I will explain why. Why, right? I'm just so much more creative. And the other thing is, I'm having so much fun doing what I do. So it's actually when you slow down, you get to receive more and accomplish more. So right now, you probably don't believe me. You're like, how's that possible? The wow. Very soon at the end of the class, you will believe it. And then you also will walk away with a tool, the three tools to help you to do that as well. So this class, I would say first 45 minutes, 50 minutes is going to me teaching, and the last 10, 15 minutes-ish, I'll give you time to answer any questions that you may have. You can just type your question in the comments. Good? Ready? Okay. So you are someone probably are having back-to-back meetings, eating lunch at your desk, putting out fires, just one after another, just never ends. And you're living in response to everyone else's priorities. And you keep thinking about work after work. It's really hard to turn the brain off. And I would joke, you're probably solving problems in your sleep. And then when you wake up, guess what? You realize, oh, your to-do list grows overnight. This to-do list just never ends. It will never end. It is that you decide when to end it. And then when you are spending time with your family, you're not necessarily present with them because you're always worried about what you need to do next and this and that. And you can sit still, just like when I told you about my experience. I couldn't sit still for 5 minutes. I felt like pins and needles. And there's this constant tension in your body, just like tight. Always feels like you're bracing for something. As a result of that, you feel tired. For some of you even feel exhausted. And then there's a resentful feeling inside because you're like, why other people are not stepping up? Why I have to be the one to do everything? And just this hamster on the wheel, right? Keep spinning, spinning, spinning. You want to slow down and you tried, but you don't know how. And you don't know why you cannot slow down because slowing down just feels so uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with you, as I said. So many of us living in that kind of state. There's a reason. There's reason why you are feeling how you're feeling today. And it's so deep rooted. First from societal level and then also from your family level. First is this societal conditioning is that you don't just become this chronic doer by accident. You are shaped. We are shaped by the environments and the systems around us. First of all, is being busy, and it's very much normalized. We equate the society that we're living in, not just Western society. I come from China. Now, modern China, it's the same thing. Busyness equates success. If you want to be success, you need to be busy. You need to constantly produce and perform. It's very much normalized. More importantly, it's more than just normalized. It's being rewarded and glorified. And rewarded since you probably were at really young age at school. What type of students get gold stars, being praised by the teachers and parents, and get to great schools and get on leadership roles? What kind of students? Is not the type of student sit in the corner daydreaming and doodling, or just have its eccentric own interest, right? No, it's not that type of student. It's the type of students who joining all sorts of clubs, volunteering, and getting A's on every single test, and just stack their resume early. Those type of the students that are being praised and being driven, focused, and ambitious. And you were probably one of them. I was one of them. So early age, that we already learned, okay, we need to be busy so that we can get praise. Action equals praise. Stillness probably equals suspicion. There's something wrong with you, or you're being lazy, or you're just wasting your time. Then what? Then at school, then at work, it's similar. Which type of employees gets recognition and promotion? It's not the type of employees setting boundaries. It's not the type of employee say, hey, you know what? This is my I'm going to come here at 9, leave by 5, or whatever. It's the type of employees go above and beyond. No boundary. Answer emails at 9 p.m., answer emails and work over vacations. And that's the type of employees get rewarded, being recognized as high performer. And those the type of employees get promoted. And I was one of them, even though I was exhausted. But I couldn't help. Always, whenever my boss, whenever the leadership wanted me, who can lead this project? Who can lead that project? Always me, me, me. Even though I was like, my calendar was packed, meetings from 9 to 6, and then I do all the work after hours, and I still wanted to do more. Why? Because this positive reinforcement, right? That's the psychological piece of it. Because being rewarded, success means busy. If with busy, then I get being recognized, then I want to do more of that. But at what cost? At what cost is that? It's very much what we need is obviously overriding the nervous system we have, overriding how we feel about in our body. That's why drink coffee. I used to drink 2 cups of coffee a day just to sustain that pace. How many of you feel like you need coffee to keep going? And the United States is a coffee caffeine fueled nation. So much is associated with this busyness culture and societal expectation that we have. That right, we need to have just that willpower, just keep pushing through. That's the societal level, and also I'm going to talk about even deeper about the family environment, potential, like the childhood conditioning. It had even deeper impact, and it really impacts our nervous system. So what is nervous system? Let me give you a very brief overview. I'm not going to deep dive into it, but it's and have an understanding of this the most foundational, most important system in our body. It's it's a game changer for me. So actually, I have a most recent episode I have on our podcast, my podcast, Unshakable Confidence. You can look it up on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Episode 39, and I did a deep dive into nervous system. So you can check it out there. So what is nervous system? Really, nervous system, it is the most important new, autonomic nervous system that we have in our body. And it's the system actually keeps us alive. It's a system that is called subcortical, meaning that it's underneath the brain. Cortical, prefrontal cortex is our brain. That's the part that differentiates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. We able to think, to plan, to create, all of that, right? But the nervous system actually developed way before the brain part of it. And it regulates our breath, circulate our blood, manage our digestive system, our body temperature, and everything. Another critical function of our nervous system is to constantly detect, is a stress response. Stress response is basically detect our environment and tell us to say, is it safe or is it dangerous? Is it safe or is it dangerous? And it's all about helping us to feel safe. Number one goal of nervous system is to keep us safe at all costs. So it's a critical survival function, and it's also completely automatic. It doesn't, just like it doesn't, we don't need to tell our nervous system how to breathe, how to regulate the blood and digestive system, none of that. It just does it when we are asleep. It's the same thing when it comes to the stress response, whether we're safe or not safe. It always look for signals. And how, what kind of signals? It's so much is about going back to the data. Imagine there's a database in this operating system. I call it command center. Literally, nervous system is the command center of our whole human existence. And it creates our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. And there's a database in this command center. And this database, it stores what? All the past experiences. So when we experience our current life, present life, when something happens, this command center will say, oh, okay, based on the information in the database, is this situation safe or not safe? If it's safe, then we can relax. If it's not safe, then we need to do something about it. So much of whether it's safe or not, it's about perceived danger. I'll give you example. For instance, public speaking. It's something so many of us are afraid of. It's ranked as actually number one fear ahead of death. I used to dread public speaking. Every time when I need to speak in front of people that I not, just, yeah, in front of people, big group of people, I just feel, you may have similar experience, right? Sweating, literally sweating, palms getting sweaty, and my heart would race, and my breath would get shallow, and sometimes my mind would go blank, and just like this big churn, like tight in my stomach, and just feels tension in my body. It's me saying, hey, my nervous system is telling me this is not safe. This is not safe speaking in front of people. Why? Because when I was younger in school, I remember first grade, and I was criticized, was scolded by the teacher, and answering a question in front of the whole class. I felt so humiliated. So that memory got stored in my nervous system. So every time now when I need to speak in front of people, automatically, I'm not even thinking about that experience. But then my nervous system, that detector, like the danger detector, saying, oh, this is not safe. See, when you were speaking in front of people, you got scolded and you got laughed at, you got ridiculed. and you were embarrassed. So don't do that. So that's really how it works. Isn't that like crazy in many ways? It's like the system, so many ways, very intelligent. Really, it's all about keeping us safe. But the problem is that now the perceive, right, the danger from the past, and we still perceive as danger, and now becomes something holding us back. So how does it relate to the business we're talking about? So I'm going to explain. There are three states the nervous system operate on, three primary states. The first primary state is called ventral. It's also sometimes be referred to as parasympathetic. Parasympathetic, meaning it's regulated. Your nervous system is regulated. That's when you feel safe. There's no danger, no perceived danger. When there's no perceived danger, that's when you can relax. Then you can breathe easily and normally. That's when you can feel calm and peaceful. That's also when the prefrontal cortex, the executive function of your brain, is online. That's when you are able to be more creative. That's when you are able to connect with people. And that's when you can be more productive and more effective. So that's the state we want to be in most of the time, called ventral. That's when you feel safe, connected, and regulated. Okay, now let's go to the second state, sympathetic state. Sympathetic state sometimes refers to as flight or fight. Have you heard of it? Flight or fight. So what it means is that when our nervous system detects a danger, and when it detects a danger, literally, I like to use this metaphor. You are seeing a tiger. So a tiger is nearby, and tiger person is chasing you. What are the two options you usually have when there's a danger like that? You either run as fast as you can to run away from the danger. That's called flight. Or you fight, because if the tiger is too close, you cannot outrun the tiger. You would turn around and fight with the tiger. That's called flight or fight. Regardless, in this state, you are being mobilized. And it's the state that you need to use a lot of energy to run as fast as you can and have all this energy to fight. Then that's when you have all these different bodily sensations. Your breath gets shallow, heart race, tension, and sweaty. Mind goes blank, right? All the things I talked about when it comes to public speaking for me. So that's when your sympathetic state is activated. You are literally fighting or running for your survival. And that is when you're busy all the time, when you just constantly do, produce and perform. That is the state you are in, sympathetic state. That is the state that you don't feel you're safe. You feel like there's danger, there's threat. I'll explain shortly what this danger, how we perceive this danger and threat, why that's the case. The last state, the third state, is called dorsal, which is a state of shutdown and collapse. What happens when you stay on sympathetic for too long? Days, weeks, months, and years. You can't. You cannot sustain that pace. Just running from away from tiger, fighting with tiger all day, every day. One day your system is going to give up. Doesn't matter how strong you are. That's when burnout happens, chronic fatigue, chronic disease like autoimmune disease, and also chronic pain in your body, and even cancer sometimes. There's so much research on this now. It's the connection between chronic stress, this chronic thinking of there's danger around, and the disease. So it's more than just a mental state, right? It's not just an emotional state, it's a physical. It's manifesting physical illnesses. So that's why we need really take this very seriously. Because if you're running on this 100 miles an hour kind of pace for too long, your body is not able to take it. Your body is going to give up at some point, and you don't want that. And you want to stop it before it happens. So now, yes, why we're in this state? We think being busy is safe, while slowing down and resting is almost like a danger. So that's the core of this challenge, this issue. It's very much programmed and in from a very young age in the environment that you grew up in. And I'll give you 4 different scenarios. And a lot of it is really through my own personal experiences. And obviously, this is all explained by science. I'll use my personal experiences as example. And you may have something similar or similar flavoring. You don't have to have exact the same experience, but a similar flavoring of the experience will pretty much has the same effect on you. It's really we've been wired. You've been wired to equate doing with safety, slowing down with danger. One is you're being rewarded for being productive and helpful. And that's how you got love, praise, and recognition. And that's what we needed most when we were young. We needed our caregivers to love us. That's how we feel safe. And you're being rewarded for being this productive little girl. And you have this basically wired into your nervous system that, oh, I must do to be safe, to seen and loved. So my story, I remember this is that when I was probably 5 or 6, and my parents would ask me and my brother to take turns to clean off after every meal. And I really didn't like doing it. We need to wipe the table and wash the dishes and sweep the floor, right? And I was like only 5 or 6 years old. Like, I just wanted to play. I wouldn't want to do that. But every time I do it, my parents would praise me. But every time I didn't want to do it, I was like, I don't want to do it. They would call me lazy. So that's how my system learned, okay, I need to be this helpful girl. I need to help out adults. And you know what happens later? I remember once I become adult, so whenever I go to friends' house for dinner or gathering, after the meal, I would always be the one who help out, like cleaning up after the meal. The rest of the people, they just feel so comfortable, just relax around the table, not to do anything, just chat. But I felt the urge somehow to clean up the table. You know, in many ways, it's like, oh, I'm being thoughtful. But sometimes it's really more than that because it's feels like sense of obligation. even though really the host didn't really need me or want me to help out. They wanted me to relax and just enjoy, but I couldn't. It was because of that childhood. Something small, right? Seemed to be pretty small and mundane, but it has a profound effect on us. So that's my experience of being rewarded for being productive and helpful, because that's the way you get love, you feel seen, you feel safe. The second scenario is that you may have grown up in a chaotic environment. The, the movement feels safer than stillness. So your home environment may be unpredictable, chaotic, and just emotional, unsafe, and stillness actually felt threatening. So that was my experience as well. Growing up, I would say my home environment was pretty chaotic. Is that my parents couldn't really get along. There was a lot of tension between them. There's a lot of arguing and fighting going on between them. That's one. Second is my dad. His mood really dominated the whole household. When he came home from work, he had a very stressful job. Whenever he came home, when he was in a good mood, we couldn't do no wrong, right? It was all good. But when he was in a bad mood, and we could easily get into trouble and literally get punished physically. And so that was very uncomfortable and you unpredictable, right? I don't know what's gonna happen. And then on the other side, my mom was my mom was someone who just had, I would say, like to complain a lot and just constantly think the life was against her and just always complaining. And then in it's very negative, right? Coming home, it just feels like unpredictable, very negative. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I remember when I was younger, a lot of time I didn't want to come home. I just want to be outside, just do other things and uh, extracurricular activities and go to friends' house and do other things. Just always so busy engaging in different things rather than coming home. Because coming home in that environment, that's kind of stillness, just felt really unsafe. So then my system learned being busy kept me safe. So that's another scenario. And then the third scenario is constant doing also gave an illusion of control. Because when you slow down might bring up difficult emotions like lonely, grief, or shame, or anger. Just feeling those things feels really uncomfortable. So that our nervous system just learned to avoid it at all costs and learn it by doing your way out of it. That was also something happened to me too. When I was high school, first year I started high school, 16 years old, so many things changed at once and it was overwhelming. Yeah, I don't know. What talking about this actually made me emotional. Um, so anyhow, that I was 16 years old. My dad moved. I had a better relationship with my dad. Anyhow, my dad moved to another city to work. My brother went to college, and me and my mom, we didn't get along. We were arguing, fighting a lot. That's at home. Then at school, I changed school. Well, I graduated and then went to a high school. This high school was one of the worst high school in our area. No one else wanted to study. I was the only one. And the close friends I used to have from middle school, they moved away, went to different places. So at school, I had no friends, and the environment was really bad. And I wanted to go to college so badly in that environment, and I had no one to talk to. I felt so lonely. I felt very also very disappointed and very sad, very isolated. Just so much emotion going on at the same time, and I had no one to really support me there. So the only way I knew how to deal with that situation was to study. I just buried my head into the books and into study all day and all night. And it worked. It really worked. First, when it worked, it was a survival strategy I had at that point. Really worked when is I didn't have to feel. I really numbed all those difficult, uncomfortable emotions I didn't know how to deal with. And second is that it got me to one of the best universities in China. And after I went to college, all the feeling, right, all this difficult feeling was gone, at least temporarily. So for in my subconscious mind and in my nervous system, I was like, oh, it worked. Doing, studying, just burying my head in the sand and doing my way out of achieving, performing. I can get it, get out, get out of trouble, get out of problems, not feeling the feelings. So that was the third one. Constantly doing. That's the only thing I have control, right? What I can control is just constant doing and performing equals illusion of control. The last one can be a bit subtle. It's really just by learning by example. Sometimes just by observing. Parents don't even have to say anything. The little kids, they observe everything, they absorb everything like a sponge. So one of my clients, she just couldn't stop working. She did so well at work, and she still kept asking me, Sukha, I feel like I need to work more. I'm like, where did you get that? Why do you think that's the case? It turned out her childhood experience was her parents were very, very loving. The family was not as chaotic as mine, but her parents worked so much. They had their own business. They worked 7 days a week, nonstop, never had a vacation, and literally worked to their bones. And every day they came home exhausted. So she internalized that. Say, oh, I need to work like that because that's how it's supposed to be. If I'm not working that hard, I'm lazy and it's not safe. So her nervous system now associates rest with danger. So work is really part of identity, safety, and love. So all of the four different scenarios, at the end of the day, it has trained our nervous system to believe doing, working, producing, performing equals safety. On the other side, slowing down, resting, and relaxing equals danger. These are not just habits, right? It's really a protective response to keep us safe and to keep us alive, given the environment that we grew up in. So it's very much a survival mechanism, and also it's adaptive behavior, because the kids didn't grow up in that kind of environment. They don't equate busyness with safety. They have it the other way. So there's nothing, it's not about your personality. It's not the environment shaped who you are today. And it's a completely automatic response. Sometimes, as I said, right, you don't even know why you're doing it. Just like I clean up dishes after a dinner, in my friend's house, like just completely compulsive. I didn't even know why I did that. It was because it was just rooted in, like, ingrained in my system. So the good news is that since it was trained and programmed into your system, into this database, now you have the power to change it. And you have the power to train it to do it differently. Because you cannot be in this state for too long, it eventually leads burnout. And I want to use another metaphor so visually you can understand what it means. So imagine a rubber band, this elastic rubber band, right? The elastic rubber band is almost our nervous system, should be really flexible. Okay, we do need this sympathetic flight and fight state response because we need that spurt of energy to protect us when something happens, accident, or like say someone, your dog runs away, you need to catch your dog, or a car come your way, and then you need to swerve to the other direction, or right, those type of short-term stress response. You won't be able to do that, but then you want to be able to expand, go into this sympathetic state, flight and fight. After that incident, you go back, return to this regulated ventral state, right? Just like a rubber band, expand and then go back, expand, go back. But the problem is if you have the elastic band expanded, extended, all the time for a long, long period of time, and then get stretched too much for too long, what happens? You know what happens? It would break. Same thing with the nervous system. If you stretch it too much and on a chronic basis, then eventually it's going to break down. You don't want that. You don't want that. So that's really kind of a wake-up call, and you wanted to change that. So today I'm going to teach you tools to do that. And it's really about switching from this automatic behavior. Our nervous system is just not automatically to jump in to pretty much save you, to keep you safe. Now you need to learn the other way. Is that you need to learn, actually slow down on purpose, not just when you crash. And you need to learn that rest actually is strategic. Rest is strategic. It's really reserve your time, your energy for the long run, and protect your health and well-being in the long run. It's not just how much you're doing today. So it's really just about learning how to regulate your nervous system so that you can, as I say, just like an elastic band, you can stretch, but you can go back and return to the ventral state quickly. And then you want to stay grounded and centered most of the time. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we do that? It's really just how to reshape and rewire your nervous system. So one thing you want to really know about nervous system is that you need to show. You cannot, it's show, not tell. Because it is subcortical, it's not in the brain, it's underneath the brain. So it cannot be just a cognitive function. It cannot be just say, I know it's important, then you will do it. No, you can't. So you need to actually do it in a safe way, gradually. So you need to show your nervous system that it's safe to rest and it's safe to slow down. You want to build the capacity for slowing gradually. That's the key, gradually. Because if you don't do it gradually, your nervous system won't believe it's safe. Just as the example I had before. I wanted to learn how to do meditation. I just went straight sitting meditation. And my nervous system wouldn't take it because it wasn't safe for me, because I was running away from tigers the whole time. Imagine, do you think it's wise for the nervous system believe that it's sitting down, sit over there for 5 minutes, not moving? It's a good idea for your nervous system when I'm running away from tigers? Of course not, right? It's like, what the heck are you doing? You're literally going to get eaten by tigers. That's my nervous system was telling me. Until I downregulated enough that feel safe enough. I've done other things. I can do walking meditation, gradually train my system to do sitting meditation. So that's the first, the 3 steps, your 3 different ways you can do train your building capacity for slowing and show your nervous system it's safe to slow down. I have this little framework called SOS. It's SOS time. S, first S is soften. Soften the system. 你 right? Because the system has been in the sympathetic. It's like, oh, mobilized, constant moving, like a lot of intensity, a lot of heat, a lot of stress, a lot of tension. So you want to start with gentle regulation. Show your body it's safe to pause by doing it gently. Well, weekend is here, so it's a perfect time for you to practice this. I give you like 3 small ways you can do that. Everybody can do it. You can just a few minutes. One is what will help you is put on a calming song. Put on a calming song. Why this so effective? Can be very effective. You're someone have a trouble sit still and being still. Because the calming song is almost like a dancing partner. If you're someone who doesn't know how to dance, right? You feel really uncomfortable being in the dance floor on your own. But if you have a dance partner and he is so experienced and he really knows how to lead you, literally he would just grab your hand, say, hey, follow me, and I'll show you how to dance. Just relax and let me lead you. Have you ever had an experience? I remember before I started dancing, learning dancing, that's what happened. Whenever I dance with someone knows how to dance. And then I was like, oh, I know how to dance. Oh, I look really pretty good. Because the partner give you the sense of trust, like help you, right, to usher that feeling in. So it's the same thing. The song is almost can like your dance partner showing you, oh, you can, you just relax. I got this. We've got this. Just trust me. You will be okay. That's one. Try it. It's incredible. The second is nature. Go into nature. Nature is an incredible regulating tool. Incredible. Pick a, it doesn't matter where you live. I happen to live in Florida and by the beach. Ocean is amazing regulating tool for me. I just feel instant calm when I'm next to it, hearing the waves and all of that, or even just seeing the ocean. So for you, if you don't have, you can walk on the grass, hug a tree, smell a flower, and just lay in your backyard or go to a park. If you live in New York City, go to the Central Park, just walk around on the grass and then admire the big tree. Just doing that, it has incredible positive slowing down, calming effect on your nervous system. And don't think that's too small. Like, that's too small, wouldn't do anything. I told you those daily walks during COVID changed my life. And if you do this on a regular basis, trust me, it can change your life too. And the other is just like when you drink your coffee or drink your tea, and don't rush it. Just take one sip at a time and enjoy it and breathe and move your body and sway from side to side, when you're sipping one sip at a time. Just that. Soften the system with gentle regulation activities and super accessible. That's one. The second is O. O is about offer a new experience. Offer new experience. It is really about do this. It's about disconfirming experience, disconfirming the old experience by offering a new experience. So what does that mean? Disconfirming the old experience you have is what? Business equals safety, right? It's like just being still or doing fun thing and playful thing, relaxing type of thing is not safe. So now you want to show your system actually is not the case. So you want to give your nervous system the proof that rest actually doesn't equal danger and it's safe now. How do you do it? You can pick do one of the fun, playful, relaxing things that give you rest and also make you feel alive. Can be just dance around your house. That's one of my favorite things. Watch something funny on TV. That's very different from binge watching. Okay, intentionally engaging that thing, being present, watching that thing, and feel the joy of watching that thing. Or play a game with a friend, with your kids, or go to a spa, massage, dinner with friends. Any of the things that give you a sense of rest and make you feel alive. Once you do that, and then engage one thing, one productive task that you have to get done. Then gauge and notice how different it is to do the task from a place of regulation. Because once you rest and relax, then you're already more regulated. Nervous system is not in this sympathetic state anymore, right? It's in more ventral state. Then you do this productive task. You actually will see you can accomplish better, faster, more enjoyable, and more effective. And that's why I schedule, right? I really have a very structured play time because every time after I play, I'm way more productive. Even just the other night, actually, oh yeah, like 2 nights ago, and I need to work on my book. I'm working on my book, and there is a lot of work, and I was sitting on it for days. I didn't feel like doing it. I went out for a walk with a friend of mine. We walked for like 2 hours, and just have amazing conversation, and I felt really nurtured by that connection and by nature. So after that, I came back and and worked on my book. I, it was just so much easier, so much easier. I did it so much faster. So that, do more of that to really train your system to say, oh, you know what? Actually, resting actually now equals enjoyment, right? Faster, more effective, more productive. Okay, so the last S is set tiny boundaries. Set tiny boundaries, because when you're a chronic doer, a lot of time you don't have boundaries, just working nonstop, never say no to people, and all of that. So if you right now say you work 7 days a week, it's impossible to say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna just start doing 5 days a week. No, like doing 6.5 days. Just make incremental change, small change. And then also if you say, oh, now you work till 7 p.m. every day, why you like, oh, I want to stop at 5? That's a pretty big jump. Don't do that. 10 minutes. Just stop working 10 minutes earlier. Another thing I always give it to my clients, all of my clients, is they're like notifications, Slack notification, email notifications, all different notifications on their phone. After they get off work, of course, they cannot switch their brain off. They're still thinking about work if the notifications keep coming up. So obviously, right now it's too much for them to turn off the notifications altogether from their phone. But I asked them to turn it off after 8 p.m. How about that? That's more doable. So they did it. They did it. They felt so much less stress. That set tiny boundaries. So SOS, S, soften the system. Start with gentle regulation. O is offer a new experience that to disconfirm the old experience and to really give your nervous system proof that rest doesn't equal danger. Actually, rest equals being more productive, more effective, and more enjoyable. Last S is set tiny boundaries. And during the process, very likely your nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system might freak out, right? So normal, because your sympathetic system has been running your show. You're running your life, your pretty much your whole life. Now, he or she, right? They don't want to give up the control. They don't want to give up this role to protect you. So it may say, oh, slowing down isn't safe, something bad gonna happen, you will fall behind, you'll lose control, right? All this old data, right? All these old beliefs that you have. So instead of fighting it, what you want to do is that you want to acknowledge it with compassion, because ultimately your nervous system is on your side. It's trying to keep you safe. So you literally want to talk to your nervous system. I know, don't laugh. It's actually very effective. When you first doing it, it feels weird, but it really works. They just say, "Hey, I know, sympathetic nervous system. I know you're trying to protect me, but I'm here now. I am here now. The adult wise me are here now, and I'm going to show you that slowing down can be safe." Say, "I know you are trying to protect me, but I'm here now, and I'm going to show you that slowing down can be safe." When you do this, when you do practice, internalize all of this, it works incredible. It's like magic. It feels like magic, but it's really science. It's biology, because it's so foundational, and it's all about reshaping our nervous system in a gentle way, and really works with our biology, and have the really nervous system, sympathetic nervous system on our side. And once you do that, I'm telling you, your life will never be the same. Your life will never be the same. You Once you truly slow down, you actually receive more, and you actually produce more because you're more relaxed, you're more productive, you're more creative, more present, you're more confident, you're more ready to receive, and you have better relationships. And you are going to be, because that's when your prefrontal cortex is online. Because when you are in sympathetic, running away from tigers, your prefrontal cortex is like completely shut off. And in order to tap into your potential, the best version of you, you need to have you grounded in ventral, grounded in regulation, tap into your prefrontal cortex. That's when your life will flourish in ways that truly are beyond your wildest dreams. I'm saying this is because I'm living this life. And 4 years ago, I would have never, even 2 years ago, I have never imagined this kind of life that I'm living. I'm writing a book, I'm speaking in front of you, teaching master classes on this topic, and I'm changing people's lives in so many different ways. And I'm feeling just so, creative, comfortable, confident, and present. And it would not be possible if I didn't learn how to regulate my nervous system and slow down. So I know you will go home and practice this, and this weekend starts today. Okay, I know we're a little bit over, but before we go, and I do want to say, everything I've shared with you today, the SOS method, the nervous system regulation, rewiring, building your capacity for slowing down, these are powerful, powerful first steps. But here is the truth. If your body has been running this survival mode for years, the pattern lives really deep, deep inside, and it's challenging to shift it on your own. And I didn't get here by myself. I got a lot of support of my coaches. So if you want to fundamentally change and accelerate the process and start feeling more relaxed, at ease, and confident and grounded sooner, and now, you can start feeling that probably, next week, then you may need deep and personalized support to help you rewire the patterns at the root, and in a way that your nervous system can actually receive and integrate. And that's exactly what I help my clients do in my one-on-one coaching program. And I want to invite you to take the next step with me. And I know coaching is an investment, and you might be wondering, will this work for me? And that's why the next step is super simple. Let's just have a conversation. And I offer a free 45 minutes consultation. It's not a sales call, it's a clarity call. And I help you to understand where you are now, where do you want to be, and then get clear on the gap and help you to map out a personalized support plan for you. And we'll see if this program is right for you or not. And zero pressure, really just help you to get clarity. And if we decide to work together, fantastic. I'm thrilled to support you. But if not, you'll still walk away with powerful insights to move forward with. And I invite you to book the free call now. You can DM me, and also I'll put the link in the comments so that you can book the call now. And I'd really love to support you on this journey and really help you to, you don't have to do this alone, really help you to build a life that is flourishing in the ways that you beyond your widest dreams, and really help you to lead more powerfully and live more authentically. So thank you for joining. And this is hope you find it helpful, and I love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. If you can either DM me or give me comments to say what's the biggest takeaway for you, that will be amazing. With that, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And oh yeah, you can also like put your questions in the comments or DM me, and I'll answer whatever questions you may have. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye.